Hello, welcome back, Normal Player Guy. Right, okay, we're going to have a look now, a nice tour at LR Teq, Black and Zamasu. They're really good. So a little bit about them. They have 2 key 50% defense, and for the first 3 turns, they get an extra 2 key 50% defense, and they guard for all attacks for 3 turns. That's pretty cool. They get 100% attack on super attack. Their super attack effect is they also get a basically 30% raise on stats, but their defense is a 30% raise for 3 turns on their 12 key and 6 turns on the 18 key. So you really want to get the 18 key to really just to build it up, because you can get 3 rotations out of it. And then every time they're hit, they get 1 key up to 4, and then they get 30% to stats up to 120 per attack received. So they need to take 4 attacks, but they also ideally probably want to go first, so they can get that super attack build up, right? Because their 12 keys they build their defense over 1 turn, or 2 rotations rather, and then you can get 3 rotations, 2 turns out of the 18 key. So we're gonna check them out in a Fighting Legend event. We'll go into the I'll tell you what, we'll go into GT Goku fighting event. We'll go into Monotype Extreme Super Battle Road, and we'll check out a Red Zone stage to see how they fare. Now, of course, even at the start, I'm expecting them to do really well, because they guard and have that extra defense, and with their links, I might even try Time Traveler's Extreme Super Battle Road. Alright, I'll see you in the Fighting Legend event. Right then, so we're back and we have a great first opening rotation. We can take 2 hits at the start, and we're going to be triggering quite a few links. Start of turn, we have 143k. I should explain, this is nowhere near Rainbow, this is at 69%, but this time my guy does have all relevant links needed to be at level 10. So we are going to get that extra 25% at the start of turn. My other LR doesn't have that, but for this one he does. So we're starting at 143k, and the links we have is Fear and Faith, Dismal Future, Fierce Battle, Big Bad Bosses, and Legendary Power. Lots of attack and that big heavy meaty link there. So we're going to try and aim for his 18 key, which we can get, and then of course we should be then set, because we'll be halfway through his passive just from this. Not only that, but he's also guarding, so this really won't be an issue, period. I mean, even if he supers attacks, the guard, he's just not going to take damage. 45k is probably a bit more than I thought actually, but still. Opening rotation, pretty good, but without support, 5 million. 5 million, that's pretty decent. As I say, that's without support. So yeah, I'm going to run him alongside this LR as well, so you have an idea of just how well they have come across, because Int Black is significantly newer, and he is an absolute demon when it comes to powerhouse in terms of attack stats. But of course, he's going to be nothing now realistically. We are running him on Patara. It's the only team I can actually have a good look at, but it is a 180% across the board with all the relevant teams that he needs to be on, so that's going to be quite good. Tell you what, I'm going to float off Rose, because we need his support in there, and I'm just going to do whatever it takes to get us by. Let's just do that, and then let us do this. We all know what Zamasu is capable of. Absolutely insane. But really, realistically, there you go. This guy, by the way, is built for dodge, because he has this damage reduction in his transformed state. Once again, showing that 10 dodge is the way to go. All right, so now we're going to have him back again. Same sort of deal. Again, no support. This will be another type neutral phase. So let's see how he fares in something slightly more potent. So again, this phase is really not that bad. Again, you can do quite a lot to the enemy. You can still lower their defense. So plenty of key on the field, especially between these. There's like Dismal Future and all that. It's actually giving key in attack. So we're easily going to be able to get the 24 key. We're not able to get in Black's 18 key, which is really where the power needs to lie with him. But it's not going to matter so much. Alright, so after the end of this attack, he's going to be fully built up in terms of attack stats. So then we can come back around and we can see his start of turn to his fully built up turn. So I intentionally had to skip this so we can see what the difference between his and max. Alright, they're still putting up some decent attack numbers here. Okay, 40k is quite a lot. If he's taking 40k now, you're going to get wrecked in the later phases, but we don't exactly need to win this per se, we just need him around. We just need to get past the Great Ape phase. Speaking of the Great Ape phase, that and the Int Super Saiyan 4 at the end will be the most difficult hurdle. While the Teq full power phase at the end is the last phase, you'll have type neutral, and it's unknown whether or not he can settle in, but he should fare a little better. I'm going to cut them when we're on the next phase. Alright, okay, so this will be the best situation we can get this guy. Now, of course, I'd like to stick him here. I think I probably will do, actually. We're not losing too much. I would like to actually keep Rose on rotation, but we would lose legendary power. However, we actually would get quite a lot more. I would like to see this is type advantage, so I don't really need to see how this works. Anyway, so we've had all 4 attacks on a 180% lead, and before you know anything, he's up to 520k on just this is before his super attacks, right? He can have one more stack of 30% stats from his 18 key, and then there. So I'm tempted to do this then. This will be without legendary power, but will be with every other link. As I said, STR Rose in my other videos, if there's ever going to be a big time unit like this, like Zamasu, like another LR Black, or even when this guy gets his Easy A, right? STR Rose is going to be there to stand them up and prop them up looking extra great. So we'll easily be able to get his 18 key. With 520k defense is enough to take not that much damage, even the likes of very difficult event. So when we take him into perhaps even extreme Super Battle Road time travelers now, actually rather, he could probably hold his own. Now remember, it took 5 turns to get us to this point, so bear that in mind. Most Super Battle Road stages, extreme Super Battle Road stages, don't last that long, but if you can get it to there, any event where you can, they're going to be looking real good. So let's see. This is without legendary power, but every other link's fully built up. 10 million. Holy hell. 10 million. Jeez. This is only 69%. Yes, he has all his links pretty much at level 10, but holy hell. 10 million. If he'd have done additional super, it would have been around 4 or 5 million. 10 million. That is enough to just take down a lot of people. There's a lot of attack stats in there. And a 4.5 million from this guy. Again, this guy, he can have more. He's also at 69%, by the way, but again, he doesn't have big bad bosses. This would be a great comparison between level 10 links and not level 10 links, and they both had the same advantages in this one. Right, I'm going to see you when we come to the Great Ape phase to see how he fares with all this defense, straight into one of the most toughest attacks going in the game. Okie dokie, and as we just saw entering this rotation, we see the additional perk that LR Black and Zamasu have, as well as as well as their amazing kit. So they also heal 15% at either turn. Now don't forget, well by now they've also lost their guard. The guard only lasts for 3 turns, so this is one of the most hardest hitting things in the game. Of course, they're now at 390k defense. But that's not so bad. They are still going to get 6 links. They will probably be back up to 520k or thereabouts after they've just done this super attack, and we're easily going to be able to get them towards the 24 key. This STR Rose, I'm telling you, one of the best design units, especially for villain units going. And now he is for extreme class Realm of Gods, but it still works perfectly fine. So we were looking at around 10 million. This was without legendary power. You could get a slightly higher if you did. You could probably get around, probably closer to 12 million because it's 20%. So you could probably clear 11 million, close to 12, and while still having a 520k defense. So let's see. We've just had a super attack, so I doubt we're going to take one here. 10 million still. 10 million. So that means we're around the point of having what? Yeah, 520k, and then an additional for 6 million, so I was about right on that, somewhere between 5 and 6 million will be your additional super attack. With a 30% raise, putting this guy and 7 million from STR Rose, ridiculous. So what, he had around 520k defense. His additional super attack will put him way over 600, and they've just finished this phase, right? 10 million attack, 7 million attack, 6 million attack. This guy doesn't stand a chance. Right, this will realistically be the last phase I have to test him on. This is type disadvantage into this phase. If he can handle his own here, he will be fine in the tech phase, I'm telling you. I'll see you on that next phase. Here we go. I just want to point out, by the way, that this is a Patara team, or you could even get away with Worldwide Chaos if you have the Int LR Samasu. And I've blitzed through this event, and this used to be a very annoying event. So anyone who's actually looking to clear this stage with like a Worldwide Chaos or something to do with Patara based team or Realm of Gods, or I cannot remember the missions, you're looking really good on this. Right, okay. Now, funny enough, he's not super attacked this Teq Goku at all. This is the second rotation we're in now. 617,000! Oh Christ, imagine this guy retained his guard. That's because he did 2 super attacks on his 18 key that allowed him to build up for several turns, right? 617k defense. I mean, he is going to... Wow, it's going to be absolutely insane. This is going to be a ridiculous attack stat. I said I would love to put him here to trigger all his links, but I have to stick him in slot 1. We haven't had a super attack yet from this guy. It's going to be crazy. 600k. I want to knock on wood, and I want to say that he's going to take bugger all for damage, but we just don't know. Alright, let's give it a crack. So we'll go for full 24 key at 6 of 7 links. I'm very excited to see how this works out. This guy was nowhere near this level of power. This is exciting. Right, okay. We don't need to win this phase if we get taken down. Doubled. Oh, perfect. Right, okay. What are we going to get? Come on. Wow. Okay, 80k. 80k is not bad. By the way, this goes to show what did this guy just do. I can't remember. That was got to be close to 12 million. I cannot remember at all what that was. I was too bothered with his... Look at that. 8, by the way, that's an 8 million additional super attack, but he's done a 12 million prior. Absolutely ridiculous. I'm too caught away with this unit just being really good. Goes to show, by the way, that this guy is still ridiculously powerful in, you know, if you're not careful. But wow, did this guy just put some pain on him. Okay, and this will probably finish him off, which is good because we would have taken some hits. Alright, I think I will go into the next phase just to see. I'm just too curious now to see how he fares against Teq Goku. By the way, that was 2 turns for that guy, and that was type disadvantage that he just that rotation just managed to rip out. So I'll see you. Actually, I'll stick around. So this will be quite good. So Zamasu could get me injured. Tell you what, I'm only going to pop an item, only just to survive because of Zamasu into the next round, so we can have a full fair health, right? So we'll do this. This will be a lot of damage. Zamasu is probably going to tear this guy asunder. There ain't going to be no chance in hell this guy's escaping, and we will actually go for super attacks as well. We do need that. That drops tech orbs. We're looking pretty good. A super attack on anyone but the middle slot would be really nice, but I should survive regardless. I mean, he says, but yeah, wow. And then a 4 million to follow up. This guy's really good. This guy, he had a docking attack on the last phase, and he just wiped out half of his health, half of the Teq Goku's health. It's insane. 4.5 million, and this guy could have an easy A because he has no defense in his passive, and he's quite an older unit. Yeah, he could actually have an easy A. Oof. Yeah, this is why I use a damage reduction item. That's insane. No defense in your passive, even if you have damage reduction, you take that. I know that's type disadvantage, and this is a 180%, but still, that's shocking. Alright, okay. I don't believe he super attacked. Anyway, right, so let's have a look at this. This will be a great opportunity. We're back up to 617k defense, Now, I'm not going to be that staggered. I'm going to be looking at his super attack effect, but it's probably going to be the same as last. Once again, STR Rose coming out. Bear in mind, as I say, if you had him in the middle with legendary power, or you had a support on another support, remember you could use Kid Buu, but you'd have to change the team, or you could even use, for example, the World Tournament STR Black, or you could use Teq Zamasu for a bit of defense, and you could use AGL Rose for a bit of offensive numbers, right? But this, in a real life situation, this is what you do. Of course, you would have him in the middle, but well, again, you probably wouldn't, right? Would you trust Rose? Rose, who's sitting on 282k defense. By the way, he will get 100 plus. He'll get what, 140k on top of that, and then he'll be way over. He'll be way over 400k on that. Alrighty, so let's see. This will be just as impressive as the last round. 600k defense, and he's going to have 10 million. Still 10 million. So 600k defense, 10 million attack stats. By the way, his defense is over 700k. By the way, now 700k defense, type neutral in one of the difficult events still going outside of like Cell Max and the final red zone phases, right? I'd consider that to be really good. They've done this guy an absolute justice. We'll now take him into. I want to take him into Extreme Super Battle Road Time Travelers, because that is a difficult stage, and we'll see how we can fare there. Alright, that was pretty good. No need to finish this because we've pretty much won, but I'll tell you what, we'll pop this, see how much damage it does. And yeah, do you know what, we might as well just blitz through this event. Only just, oh man, I just can't seem to get them there. Damn, can't get him his 18 key. Ooh, Zamasu there's good. I tell you what, this will be a hilarious watch. Let's see if AGL Zamasu gets us taken down. He might not even get a chance. This might be a good showcase for Zamasu to see how well he can tank. And then yeah, okay, this will do nothing, absolutely nothing. Actually, it might. He hasn't super jet. Yeah, 100k is really good, and this guy hadn't super jet. Altogether, it's ridiculous. We all know this guy's broken, right? If you have him, that's great. If you don't, ooh, you're gonna wish you did. Right. So okay. So we pretty much cleared this event. I only ended up using 2 items. The only reason I used those items because I was a bit unsure about some of those units. Was it necessary in the end? No, but could I trust it? Who knows? Right, that was an easy way of completing this. I will see you in the Extreme Super Battle Road Time Travelers rotation. So we're going to have the best ideal setup, best ideal partner. That's STR Rose with 6 links. We're not going to trigger the LR power. Now there is a tremendous amount of attacks coming first. I only used a Ghost Usher in the last round. So if they open up with super attacks, that's fine by me. It just goes to show just how devastating this stage can be, because there's 4, then 4, then 3. It's ridiculous, right? Right, so he does have guard. Now his start of turn defense is 163k. Most of that's coming from links. So we will target. Do you know what? Let's target type neutral. Let's see if he can take down the I can't remember his name, the vampire guy. Right, we'll go for full 24 key. Rose will take down, see if we take down Devilman with this, and then we'll probably also focus on him. So, opening rotation, 163k with guard, 37k. Now, he will build up because he takes hits, 138, and now he's fully built up. So, there you go, 9 million, 8.99, 9 million. Wow, what tremendous. He was fully built up in that very first instance with guard. Tell you what, if it wasn't for that guard, this guy would be a goner. Wow, that's ridiculous, by the way. Yeah, this guy is powerful, crazy powerful. And STR Rose doing fairly well afterwards as well. So 9 million was able to fully build up. And this guy's probably close again to 500k defense now. That's ridiculous. Well, maybe 400k, because his super attack effect has yet to actually kick in. Perfect, we can use that to finish this guy. I'm going to come back then in on the next fight and see how we fare there. Okay, now, so on the last rotation, we actually got taken out by a super attack from bandages for like 800k, and that was type neutral after I've had several super attacks. Telling you, this is going to be one of the worst stages of Extreme Super Battle Road going. However, not a problem. So bandages is stunned, but we're going to be taking several attacks before and after, mainly after. We'll see how we fare now. So start of turn rotation, 163k again. So we're going to be building up quite rapidly. We're only going to be taking one hit now because bandages is stunned. So this will be a significantly less attack stat, but his defensive numbers will largely be somewhat similar. But he ain't going to be at 9 million this turn. Let's see. So yeah, he got the stun. So he's built up once. 6.5 million, by the way. Just one attack of his passive, and he's up to 6.5 million. And now he's building up. And he does have guard since this is a fresh turn. That's not bad. 6.5 million, and he's fully built up. I think he's got one attack left of his fully built up, and then he's completely there. In fact, no, he is fully built up. LR Black and Zamasu are fully built up now, so their next rotation is going to be really more powerful, especially with the right rotation. Actually, I might actually float them off on the next turn, so we get a rough idea to see what happens if you're forced to float off, say, Rose, right? So that could be quite a good one. I'll catch you on that next rotation. I'll try and get to the next fight. Before I finish off this phase, I thought it'd be a good idea to see what it looks like when he's fully built up outside of his super attack effects. So we're looking at 467,000 and as we enter completely end of this phase. So we'll just see the end of this, see what attack stat we get, because we got lucky in the rotations. 9 million. So yeah, on a realistic scenario, this is at 69%, so it's close to what you'd imagine you might have. So fully built up, especially with his guard, 9 million with close to 500k defense right there, 400 at the start of the turn, fully built up. So we'll enter the next turn, and you'll have his guard back, and then we'll split him off from Rose to see how he fares if you had to do that. For this rotation, as it just turns out, this will probably be one of his better rotations going. So we're getting 100% support in terms of defensive buff and a 50% support in terms of offensive buff. We are now at 195k. Never works out how I want, but hey. So this will be with the best support kind of going. 200k basically with guard, and he's going to be able to fully build up by the end of this. We will actually do this to try and swap him off. Actually, no, this would be a good idea. What do we get? Okay, we'll probably get everything but legendary power on much more high defensive numbers. Remember, if AGL Rose was round, he'd be giving us that 50% in attack. So that could be really good. Alright, easily going to get his 24 key. Again, SDR Rose, he's given that 3 key right there. It's insane. You just never need much. He's given that ridiculous support and all that key. This would be an interesting setup then. So we're not going to check out his worst case, but this would probably be our best case. 6.5 million again, and he'll be fully built up more or less. Maybe one attack to go by the end of this. Yeah, he's going to have one more attack to go, and he's taking nothing, absolutely nothing. So I could probably safe to say from Super Battle Road, he's going to be looking really good. There's only one more event I've yet to take in, and that is Cell Max. I'll take him on a future saga with Cell Max, see how powerful this guy can be. We'll probably die here right now because of Teq Goku. Yeah, Teq Goku. Oh, this guy's had an easy A. Are you insane? Right, I'll catch you back with Cell Max. Okay, so as we're in Cell Max, we finally have a rotation that we can have. Tell you what, let's do this. Again, so this is only realistic from this point onwards. We need to see how this guy can fare. Now, he probably does have his guard, I think maybe for one more turn, because this guy was in slot 7. No, slot 1, but I had to float him off. So he's sitting at 189k start of turn, and he might have one turn of guard left, but 200k or 190k, let's be honest, then is not so bad. It's actually pretty good for a start of turn. He will super attack first, and then he will build up. That's probably the better way of doing it. So let's see how we fare here. Alright, this would be a good idea. Nothing from type disadvantage. He does have the final one of guard, so safe enough rotation. So, yeah, safe to say. 8.5 million, by the way. 8.5 million, his first real turn. And this will fully build him up after this. So, again, maintains his guard, and then Rose isn't going to take any damage here. He will get us killed in the final phase. It's not about the final phase, it's more just about the unit. Can you get away with the unit? Very good all round. Just strong all round. Okay, perfect. Super attack on these guys from a type neutral middle phase. He's got his guard, it doesn't matter. The guy's fully built up. It is going to take the horrifying power, the monstrous power of Cell Max in that last phase to take this unit down. If you can actually take this unit down. My guess though is yes, even in the right setup, even though he does have over 600k at a possibility, he still just isn't going to have that power to take him down. Just not really. So, I mean, you're going to need around 1 million. But, I mean, if he still had his guard, he would probably still be a phenomenal unit, especially in the likes of this. But that's exactly what it's coming down to now these days. It's coming down to the fact you need all this. Let's just do this. This should be more than enough. We hopefully should end him on this phase, so we enter the next phase. I can pop a Sensu just to pull us back at full health, and then we'll have a really good idea to see how well he fares. But overall, it's impressive. It is. You can take him into any difficult content. Be wary from this first turn, especially without links and support. I've been using Rose all the time consistently, and I have been lucky. If you don't have the support on for the first rotation, wow, 7.5, you're just gonna get hurt a bit. But once you build up, if you can survive that first rotation, when he comes back around on the third rotation, he will have significantly higher defense. Your problem then is you've got to keep him on rotation and make sure he can get his 18 key to viably still be in this. Perfect. So we can pop a Sensu Beam, and we can have him straight away into slot 1. That's perfect, because we can reduce some more damage should we need it to be. So let's see how it will be fair. So this will be a reasonably good scenario case. So let's see. So he is fully built up. We don't need to do anything. We are at full health. I don't need to pop a Sensu Beam because black heals by 15%. We are now at 432k. No guard. 432k, type neutral. This will not be enough. We will get crushed. If this is a super attack, it's GG. That's straight up it. But if this is a normal, and I hope to God this is a normal, then just one normal we'll be able to see how well he can fare. So long as he doesn't open up with a goddamn super attack. Without Rose, I'll tell you what, I'm going to pop a Sensu Beam just so I can move Rose away. So without him, 335k. We put him back on, 100k. I lose 100k by moving him away. So you absolutely need this guy. So again, we'll go for this. So long as it's a normal attack, we'll be able to judge it. In fact, if anything, if the super attack is under 350k, he's good. If it's more than 350k, this phase is just the only phase to take him out. Not that he's bad, it's just this. He will not be able to survive this phase. Let's do this. So come on, we're just praying for a normal. One normal. Thank you. 100k on a normal. And his super attack effect hasn't built up. 10 million. Wow. 10 million. He's able to put some hurt on this guy. Oh. Now here we go. Now let's see. Let's see. Fully built up with most of his super attack effect passive. 1.34 million. Again, I'm telling you. Right. So again, it's not that this guy is a bad guy. Let's not that he's a bad unit. Let's check him out. It's not that this is a bad unit. We saw then he was able to take 100k from a normal. Now, prior to when this event came out, you could use damage reduction items that would take it, well, you could use a Whis that would take it down to 60k, right? So that wouldn't have been so bad. 100k in a normal, I gotta admit, the only thing to take him down would be like Broly, Red Zone Shenron, or Cell Max. And that's the only thing, and just because they can get hurt a lot there doesn't mean that they're actually rubbish. we saw that at 69% this guy was pumping out close to well over 10 million, 600k defense, quite comfortably sitting around 8-9 million with 400k defense. Without Rose, you would lose 100k defense at that endpoint. Start of turn was around 163k, which means that you would be on around 128k if you had no support at all. But again, no support would mean that you'd have significantly less links, and rather than firing off a 5 million attack stat at the start of turn, you would end up only doing about 3. But the point is, links or no links, this guy is really powerful, and it's taking ridiculous events. Now, of course, I intentionally stuck him in there for the worst case scenario. I could have just stuck Gohan because he reduces the damage, right? So he would have been able to survive a bit better. Maybe. Who knows? I mean, that 1.4 million at the end was a bit ridiculous. It's kind of how this game's going. If this guy still had his guard, he probably would have survived. But again, that would be too broken. The idea around this is that the guard is enough to build up those attacks. You get 2 rotations with it, 1 if you float them off, and that allows you to build up their stats. And if you play as intended, actually, you could just go dodge. You could actually go full dodge. Currently, my guy is set up as more additional than crit, but I will actually probably arrange that because, for example, he has 3 dodge, which is a 3% chance. I always like to try and say, 10 dodge gives you a 10% chance. Now, that extra 7%, that could have just been the point where we dodged that super attack, and we probably would have cleared the rotation. It's touch and go whether or not we actually would have done, but the point is you would have been far better off. That 1.5 million attack stat would have just been better. In more realistic cases, probably that one of the normals at 100k we missed. 100k health out of my 6.5. They always, it's a serious chunk of health to actually dodge. Point is, this unit is brilliant. Such a clinch for when it comes to Super Battle Road, Extreme Super Battle Road. We saw in Extreme Time Traveler Super Battle Road a really difficult stage. This guy can just hold his own. His guard, the fact that he can build up just like that. Now, if all 4 of them super attacked, it's to say, because he will build up with the super attacks. So for sure there, as you saw, 2 of them did a super attack and it didn't matter, and it was able to instantly bust down 9 million, close to 400k, actually more than 400k defense. It is ridiculous. Even at 55%, this guy is ridiculous. Right, okay, no more of this video. It's going to be long enough. I hope you liked it, and if you didn't, well, sucks to be you, but thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you next time.